Come on in. Welcome to Vlogmas, day number 5. Remember the other day when we went shopping over at the Dollar Tree and we picked up some decorations? We are finally going to put those up today. But before we do that, I just kind of wanted to show you around our camper. You may have seen it before in let's see, I did a video in here about how to organize your pantry and that kind of thing. So we've definitely been in here before, but I wanted to point out a couple things before we actually start decorating today. So this is our normal setup, and it is clutter-free because we have, such a small amount of space. We can't afford to have things all over the place. So I typically have nothing on the counters. I've got over here, let me just bring you around here. I always keep a roll of paper towels right here on the counter. We use them all the time, so those have to stay. These decorative bottles right here are where I keep our overflow stuff like soaps and lotions and things like that. So I have all of our dispensers full, but instead of just storing stuff in their original containers, I actually put them in these decorative bottles. I like the color of them, and then they can stay out on the countertop because I like the way they look. And then over here, we've got just a little bit of kind of like little junk bins so we can keep our phones and our chargers and things like that kind of hidden from sight. This is, of course, our coffee maker that never goes away. It doesn't go away until we actually move, and we need to store it while we're transporting. And then I also keep the coffee pods on the counter. And that's it for that counter space. As we walk around here, there's absolutely nothing on the island because this is where, when I do dishes, I need all of this counter space, and when I'm doing food prep and that kind of thing. So this needs to stay clear. Back here is where we keep our countertop ice maker. And so it's close to the stove, and I don't cook a ton on the stove. I'm usually cooking outside, but I definitely cook inside once in a while. But this is a thing that kind of is big and bulky, and it kind of sticks in this corner, and I'm okay with that because I have enough counter space left over here so that when I am actually cooking right here on the counter, or I am using my triangle work surface here when I'm prepping food and that kind of thing, I've got a little bit here, and that's enough for me. As we come around here, you'll see everything that we have in here is covered with some kind of throw, and that's because of our cats. They actually will, they have claws, they have hind claws, and so they do kind of puncture the fabric in the furniture once in a while. So because of that, and because of all of their hair, I like to have throws because I can just pick them up. Number one, it protects the furniture, and number two, it is something that's easy to roll up and shake outside, and then when we get to a laundry facility, easy to clean, so I can keep up with that. Inside of here, this is a storage area. We're in a Grand Design 303 RLS, and this is furniture that actually is part of the seating at the kitchen table, but we don't use it that way. We use it for kicking up our feet when we're sitting on the couch and watching TV, and also can snuggle up by the fireplace. Actually, the cats love sitting on here, especially Izzy, when it's cold, when we're camping in cold weather and we are using the heater, because the fireplace is actually also an electric heater, and when we've got that thing on and we're plugged into shore power and we've got enough power, that thing can put out an amazing amount of heat. So we love that. And so this is our normal setup here. As I come around the corner, same thing with the furniture that's covered, and this is the standard chairs that came with our dining room set. And that little thing that the bench that we're using as a footstool now, we removed that. That normally sits here. This is where we've got the kitty litter box. It acts as a bench, and then there's a little entryway back there so the cats can get in from this front side, come through here, and then go potty. And so that is these are all like non-negotiables. This is what we have to live with. Kitty litter box works great for us. Everything that we have here works great for us. But It means that we don't want to clutter up any kind of space. We can't afford floor space. We can't afford counter space to go away to put decorations. So what we're going to do today is we are going to be trying to decorate vertically, but we've also got a caveat. It needs to be decorations that don't exceed a certain size of box, because even though we are seasonally full-time, we are not full-time right now year-round. Eventually, we're planning on getting there. So we know that even just in our summer season when we're on the road, there is storage problems all over the place. So what we don't want to do is decide when we're going full time that we've got all of these Christmas decorations that we're used to having and living with when we do our Christmas time camp trips right now. We don't want to continue that if we don't have the space, and we definitely won't be able to afford space to store Christmas items with us and carry them across the country year round. So we have one box and it is only so big, and that's all. If we can't fit these Christmas decorations into that box, they don't go. So we're gonna start decorating now, and we're gonna see how Christmassy we can make this with just a few items and trying to get as much splash for the space as we can. So I'm gonna go get those now. I don't know if you remember, but the other day when we were in Dollar Tree, I had mentioned that we were going to be picking up some decorations, but no lights. And the reason is I'm going to make my normal camp lights do double duty. So we've got a couple of sets of string lights. These old are like ancient little Coleman lantern lights. Are on their last leg, but they're still working, so we haven't thrown them out. So I'm going to be using this to light up some garland. These lights are also super old, and they are on their last leg. We actually don't even have the closer lid thing here for the battery thing. But I really like these because they have a Christmas feel. They almost look like a Christmas ornament. So we normally use these outside, but I'm bringing them inside so that we can put a nice glow on the inside of the trailer with the decorations. And I got some blingy stuff, so that'll help to keep that shimmer sort of going. These are a new set of string lights for us. So we're going solar pretty much almost on all of our gear. So this is a really long light, string of lights, I should say. And so I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work, because it goes really far and it's not quite as bright as some of these other ones. Haven't used any of these decorations yet, so this will be the first time doing it together. This is the box that must contain all of the Christmas decorations that we have. I don't want to exceed the size of this box. So right now it seems like it's a little overflowing, but partially that's because all of the new stuff that I picked up still has packaging and stuff on it. And I haven't tried to put it in and fold everything really nice and neat so that it's all compact to be able to get stored, when in the off season. I am absolutely positive that everything is going to fit in this box. So we will start with kind of looking around and saying, where do we want to put things? I got these gaudy looking things because, well, number one, it kind of looks like, Santa Claus's belt, but also because they're lightweight. They are kind of a, fabric-ish, and they sparkle. And so to be able to put something that has that much color on anything is a real win. When we have a little get together, we're going to be doing that later on next week. We'll be doing some recipes and talking about how you can host a holiday gathering in a small space. So one of the ways that we're going to add a little bit more of our color is by using coordinated plates, paper plates, and paper napkins. No dishes to do, and it adds to our color. So I decided that we're going to go predominantly red. We'll add a little bit of silver, a little bit of gold, and hopefully with the bling that we've got going on and the lights added to the mix, we're going to really fill the space. I also wanted to mention that the command hooks, I know everybody swears by these things, but we have this is a newish camper. We've been in this thing now for actually a little over a year, but we are very particular about not, marring anything any more than we have to with just like normal everyday living. And we're pretty easy on our equipment as far as that is concerned. The worst thing that I think normally happens is, the cat toenail goes through something. But anyway, other than that, we try to be really gentle with our stuff. So I will use a command hook instead of actually sticking it to the face of anything, whether it be the trim molding or especially this RV wallpaper can be really temperamental. So I don't want to even chance putting something up there and having something go bad with a command strip, even though they're really great. I don't want to have to deal with what that looks like if any of that paper actually does kind of get marred or rip off and have a blemish there. The first thing that I want to do is kind of gather all of the things and kind of figure out where I want them to go. I know I want to decorate both slides and I want to decorate the back. I can go up here, up top too. I got 4 of these little bows, and see how I need this counter space? 4 bows, and I have, I got 4 sets of, little sets of garland, the color coordinated color. I've got some bags here, and I have a tablecloth. This is actually, ribbon that I've used for years in the house, and since it's the color scheme that I wanted to do out here, I just brought it out here so I didn't have to buy anything new. And then the last thing in the box is this little candle. So the candle is the easiest thing, so I'm just gonna start with that. We always have a candle sitting out in the trailer, and what I'm gonna do is take this, I kind of move this thing around based on where I am and what I'm doing. And I never let the candle burn if I'm not in here. But this is a peach and mango scent, and it is a peach and mango color. So I'm going to get rid of that and put that away for the season. And I've got a tiny little Yankee candle. One of my favorite scents, this is Red Apple Wreath. And so it goes with our color scheme, and it's going to give us a nice aroma in the air that kind of reminds me of what we normally have as a traditional Christmas smell. So I'm going to light that. I'm going to turn on a little bit of music, and we'll start to decorate. I'm going to get rid of this box. There's a couple more easy things that I can do that I know are there's only one place for them, and so that's where they need to go. So this is a tablecloth. It's a cheap little tablecloth, and I got it because it has that red color that I'm looking for, and it will be something that obviously gets thrown away at the end of the season. And it is too big for our little tiny dining room table, so I'm gonna leave it folded like this, and then I'm just gonna throw this over the top of the table. I am going to just drape this over here. I just want this to kind of look as finished as possible on this one side. This is it. I wanna be able to serve food, eat food, do everything we have to do here at this table without having to move anything. So that's the only thing. This is the only decoration that this table is going to get. Most people will put maybe like a little tabletop Christmas tree. You can certainly do that. But what I find myself doing is getting annoyed that I've got a little thing that now I need to pick up from here and go figure out where I'm going to put it next to get it out of the way to be able to use this space. As far as I'm concerned, the key to everything is color, color, color. Just take if your unit, if your rig, by the time you're finished decorating, if you kind of decorate in the color scheme that you already have inside, it's not gonna feel that different. So I deliberately said, okay, I'm sort of in gray tones and grayish, brownish kind of tones here. So I want to go the complete opposite, and I want to go red and I want to go silver. The other thing that I have that's another easy thing to do are these little gift bags. Now I got these gift bags specifically for this space because I shopped for my space and how I use our space inside our trailer. So wine bags are a great idea if they work, if the size works. So because these little decorative bags, or these little decorative bottles that I have here with our soap and our extra soap and lotion and stuff like that, I want to be able to change this color so that it doesn't look like our normal everyday kind of thing. So these bags, I got 3 different designs on them because I've got 5 bottles. So I got 2 that are this, and it is All Is Calm and Bright. And then I got 2 of this one, which is Gather Together Gather Together Merry Hearts, Hearts. And then have Holly Jolly Joyful Christmas is our single one. So I am going to now put those in put my bottles inside of these. And I know that these aren't like super blingy, and bling is one thing that actually I think helps to make Christmas decorations feel like, Christmas. But I couldn't find anything that I really liked. I was looking for like wine gift bags and things like that. And I just wasn't real happy with the things that I saw. So I thought, okay, I know this, even though it's not blingy, it gives me a nice clean look, which I like. And it definitely has the red color in it as an accent. So I'm happy with these. I think they're really cute. So you can see the decorations on here that these 2 have kind of like a rounded thing, and then the rest are single or just lines of text. So I am going to make sure that those kind of 2 oddball rounded ones break up the ones that are the text. And I'm going to do that. See how that works. Now, if I really wanted to make these a little more blingy, I could put some kind of ribbon or bow or something like that on here. And I might do that a little bit later. If we have enough ribbon left over, we'll see, we might come back to that. The one thing I will say is, as much as I love these little Christmassy looking string lights, I kind of don't like that they are all these kind of oddball colors. I think they're super cute, don't get me wrong. But I'm trying to go for a color scheme in here of just like predominantly red. So since this is an oddball thing, I am going to stick this on that back window. I'm gonna do it on the valance over the back window so it's out of the way. I don't wanna have any problem getting into any cabinet while the decorations are up. Everything has to be completely, fully functional. I have OCD. So if I have one string that like hangs way down on one side and the other one that's super short, it just will bug me the whole time I'm looking at it. So I need to just move these. So now I've got fully functioning everything, and I've got my oddball color in the spot that's gonna separate the space. Now we're gonna go on both sides of the slide. I'm back to these 2 string lights that are left, and the slides are both the same size. I know that this string is way longer than this string. This string is kind of a big and bulky and a little heavy. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably use this on that side. So I'm gonna set these aside and work on this one here next. You can see as I start to take these things out of their packaging, how small this is going to get for storage. And I'm not gonna save this cardboard. I don't want the cardboard. I wanna be able to just kind of put this stuff inside that box and be done with it. And it's gonna take up a whole lot less space. And I might even be able to use a box to store this that's even smaller than the one that I have right now. Look at that bling! So I forgot how long these are supposed to be. What are they, 50 feet? If I start on one end what I want to know is how far can I go? And again, I don't want anything when I open the refrigerator or freezer, I don't want any of that like in the way. And I also don't want anything in the way here of the pantry or these other little cabinets that we get into here and there. Not that often, but often enough. Functionality is key. All right, so I'm across one time, so I can go back. Uh-oh, look at what I'm doing here. Okay. Do not get in the way of my refrigerator. I want to kind of keep these a little separated so that if you bulk them all together, then you don't get as much color and splash. It kind of is like, you know, when you have your hair clipped up or in a ponytail versus having it flowing all over the place. So it just looks a whole lot bigger when you got that, when you let it flow. I love that I can put this stuff up here and not even hook anything. So that's the really important thing about using lightweight stuff. A lot of times you can just tuck it somewhere. You're not worrying about having it, you know, like pull down a wall or, you know, something. The trick is finding the end before you start to wad it all up. I'm getting to the point here where I want to add these lights because I want the lights to kind of get tucked in there. So my question is, how am I going to put this up there? Because this is kind of a big, heavy thing. So the cool thing about this is that I can go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. So I can get a lot of light out of this. The other cool thing is there is an alternate way to charge this thing. So here is the little USB port, and we got ports all over this trailer. So we are good to go. So we got a nice charge, a nice solar charge on it right now. And then if we need to recharge while we still have the lights up, then we'll just go ahead and stick it into the USB port. So for this moment, I am just gonna stick this in here with this, feeding this out, and I'm gonna start on that end over there, and then I'm gonna zig and zag a couple of times until I feel like there's enough light. See how tiny these little lights are? That's the thing that I'm kind of thinking, all right, I'm not gonna get as much light out of these things, but because there are so many, I don't know how many feet. Do you know how many feet are in this thing? About 30? That's a lot of feet. So we should be able to go back and forth quite a few times. It's a good idea the kitties aren't in here right now. Otherwise they'd be trying to get into all of this stuff. All right, so now I want to add that red color that I really like because it is the color that is so different from you know, what we have going on inside this space right now. I probably should have undone this before I started to put up that edge. By the way, did you notice my Christmas socks? Anytime, you know, you can add a little more Christmas to your situation, you're in good shape. Did that sound like Doug Heffernan? What was that, King of Queens? Did you ever watch King of Queens? Well, Pete and I are kind of like that. Pete's like Doug, I'm like Carrie. Oops, this is dropping too much. Just kind of tighten it up. And let's go back and forth. My one favorite decoration, of course, is the little retro camper that my friend gave me. It's super cute, and it is definitely the one that I kind of want to have in a prominent spot, even though it's got some extra colors to it, and it's not just silver and red. I love it so much that it's going, and I think I'm probably going to be putting it up here. So that's this little guy. What do you think? Is that cute? I love the little Christmas tree. I'm going to put this this little guy up, unless I want to do that, which I don't think so. I like this guy too much. We're done. How's that? Is that good? I actually can add more color with ribbon if I want to. So you tell me, what do you think? Then it's gonna kind of like sit more on the top of the slide. Look at all that glitter. If you don't have glitter all around, whether it be your house or your RV at Christmas time, then I say it's not really Christmas. What else do you have to make it like it's got to be this or it ain't Christmas? For us, one of those is eggnog. Oh yeah, our traditional Christmas dinner, we like to do a spiral ham, au gratin potatoes, 7-layer salad. So, yep, we'll be doing that probably this year. I think we're looking pretty decent over here. I might do a little more fluffing of some of that ribbon a little bit later, but we're kind of in place, so I'm gonna let that go for now. And then I'm gonna work my way over here. And definitely we've got room for some of these decorative bows over here to give us a nice splash of color. So I'm thinking that if we had these two here, that would be better than here, right? I don't know, which looks better? Here or here? Pete? Outside looks better? How's that? Is it cute? So how are you liking the bows? I think that one of them definitely came a lot lower than the other one. I was trying to get them even, but I'm not gonna freak out about that. I might try to do a little adjusting later, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I might actually just leave it that way. We're now on our second slide, and we've got 2 more of the same kinds of garland that we have on the kitchen side. Ooh. And I don't know how well this is going to work because the lighting that we have here are those little heavy Coleman lanterns, and so these are not going to stretch all the way across. Oh, I think I need a step ladder. That works. I'm going to finish up with this garland and figure out where we're gonna put that last little bow and call it a night, a day. I can let some of this hang down and give a little more color on the side, and this slide over here, we don't really have it's never really in the way. And if I put it on this side, the kitties can't get to it and make a big mess, where they actually can get on this counter over here and get to that one. So I'm gonna let this one swag a little bit on the side. When the kitties get in here, their eyes are gonna be big as silver dollars, trying to figure out how they're gonna get into this stuff. Hopefully they won't. We'll see what happens. We've got a little bit more ribbon left, and that is it. So if there's something else that we want to do with that, we need to figure it out or put it away and get out of here. But I think one thing I would like to do is do some bows up top by these lights. It's not like that's going to be in the way, and it's not like it's going to be covering up any of the light or anything like that. Oh, I should dust. Bend it into submission so it's kind of going whatever way you want to go. And that's cute. Is that cute? I think so. I'm almost afraid to say this, but I think that the white and red is almost looking a little Valentine-ish. I wanted it to look a little more Christmassy. It is what it is. I'm not changing it now. I'm really glad that I got those bows that look like Santa's belt, because that definitely looks Christmassy. The last thing I'm thinking about is these little bags that I got that are not blingy. So I'm wondering if I just put a little kind of like bow-ish looking thing in there. And you know, I don't mind doing this because I don't use these very often. I mean, I go into those bottles when I need to do a refill of something, but it's so infrequent that for this to be a little inconvenient to reach in there, it's not a big deal for me. Yay? Nay? He's such a good sport. So the only thing that I would really like to still do is stick something on that top, but I don't think I'm going to make that happen. Let me see if this fits up there. So anytime you have a space that you kind of want to fit something in there. Let's say we're going to do like a candy cane stripe almost. This ribbon here is a lot stiffer than the others, so I'm going to double knot this one. This is going to look like a big old candy cane Tootsie Roll, something like that up there. Okay, so all my knots kind of need to line up. So here I want to actually go wrap that edge a little bit so you can't tell it's paper towel. So if I really thought about it, after Christmas is over, I could take down the Santa Claus belt and the Christmas tree little retro camper, stick up a couple of hearts and leave the red and white and gold, red and white and silver up there and be ready for Valentine's Day. What a brilliant idea, right? All right, so now I'm gonna just stick the roll and all of these little tassels that are here, I'm gonna push those to the back. So we just have kind of like a little Tootsie Roll looking thing facing forward. And call it a day. I really wasn't gonna be happy unless I got a little bit of color up here. Look at how cute that is. A rolled, decorated paper towel roll. I think that's really cute. Anyway, so we are going to put this mess away and we'll flip the lights on a little bit later when it gets dark and see how everything looks at night because, you know, that's when we really want the twinkles and that's when we're in the camper the most. If you haven't seen the rest of the videos in my VLOGMAS series, I will leave a link for that in the description below. Don't forget the reason for the season. See you tomorrow.